Welcome to the morning after week 8. Here, special late night edition here, coming to you after the games were just completed. Monday night, I have to be at a elementary school tomorrow for a reading program, so I will not be able to do the show in the morning, so I'm doing it tonight. Technically, minutes after week 8. Close enough, though. As for the week that was, first of all, we had the Horn Dogs taking down the Gargoyles 77.5 to 66.5. It looked like it'd be a close game, especially when Todd Gurley decided not to score the touchdown, and looked like the Gargoyles might have been able to sneak one out, but the Horn Dogs prevailed, winning by 11. Price is Right took down the Bucks in a whooping, 99.5 to 39. Really hurt the Bucks there. They were looking at one of the elite teams. That kind of brought them back to earth. The Little Big Men take down the Dingos, or squeak by the Dingos, 67 to 66.5. LaShawn McCoy was not able to put up enough points on the last drive, and Little Big Men now extend their longest winning streak to 13, and broke the longest unbeaten streak in the league at 13, and tied the record for the best start in league history at 8-8-0. Congrats to Little Big Men, who have, it's been a good run. One high point win in those 13 weeks. It's a little surprising that I think his first week that he got in the win streak was a high point. After that, no more. But he keeps on winning and trucking along. Next week, he'll battle the Minotaurs, who took down the Garbage Men 86 to 59. The Bruisers fell to the Cardinals, 114.5 to 49. The Cardinals had a huge week from a lot of people. Connor, Mahomes, Mixon, Marlon Mack all had big days for the Cardinals. And the Badgers keep their playoff hopes alive, taking down the In Rodgers We Trust 88 to 39.5. In Rodgers We Trust, unfortunately, now has the longest or the worst start to a season in terms of straight losses, 0-8. The record is 0-9-1 by Donnie's Devils in 2002. Definitely a record that unfortunately looks within reach for In Rodgers We Trust. Legends League, we saw the Woodies take down the Bombers in a battle of high school buddies, 98 to 72. Woodies keep their playoff hopes alive. Cardinals take down the Gunslingers, 82.5 to 46.5. The Maulers stay undefeated. However, they tie the Kongs, 78 to 78. Kongs playoff hopes still alive. That was not a great thing. Another half a point there by either Brady or James White would have been big. Unfortunately, he falls or stays even at 3-4-1. Horn Dogs take down the Donkeys, 66.5 to 53. Donkeys' rough season continues as they fall to 1-7. Horn Dogs with a good start at 6-2. Sasquatches take down the Dragons, 90.5 to 47. Rogers coming through there for him. Gurley still coming through, so a big day for the Sasquatches as they move to 5-3 and drop the Dragons to 5-3, and they stop their winning streak at 5 in a row. And the Bullets squeak by the Thrills, 61.5 to 61. The Bullets have been the cardiac kids. Either they lose by a little bit or they win by a little bit. Two-point conversion, I think, a couple weeks ago that pulled it off. This one, 61.5 to 61. Looking at the playoff picture very quickly, since we are already week 8, only 5 weeks left. Currently in the CFFL, Little Big Men, Cardinals, Minotaurs, and Horn Dogs look relatively safe. Maybe not the Minotaurs so much as the other 3 teams. Sorry, that shouldn't say Dingos there. That should have been taken out. The Bucks at 5 at the 5th seed. Price is Right would be tied with the Bruisers, but they're ahead of them in points, so they'd be at 6. And the Badgers and Garbage Men still have playoff shots at 3-5. In the Legends League, 7-1 Maulers at number 1. Cardinals are tied with the Dragons at 5-3 in their division. Sasquatches also 5-3, just a couple points behind the Cardinals. Want one of those top 2 seeds because that means a bye in the playoffs. Horn Dogs, great year. Unfortunately, they're in the same division as the Maulers, so they're a game and a half behind them. And the Bullets right now at 4-4, leading his brother, Jeffrey, by a few points at 4-4. Kongs at 3-4-1, and the Woodies at 3-5 have shots at the playoffs yet. Player of the week, the guy who almost led 2 big upsets. Kongs fell into a tie with the unbeaten teams, and the Dingos fell half point short. 25 points for Deshaun Watson was not quite enough. Maybe 26 would have been enough for those guys. Even, heck, 25.5 would have been a lot better for them. Free agent target of the week, Fitzmagic, back leading the league's top passing offense. He had 13 points this past week. He's been pretty good when he started. We'll see if he can continue the magic when he's back. Top game in the CFFL is the Little Big Men versus the Minotaurs, 8-0 versus 5-3, two very good teams. And then in the Legends League, there's a lot of games that are going to be really awesome this week. Dragons take on the Horn Dogs, 6-2 Horn Dogs versus 5-3 Dragons. Battle of the Cousins, the 3-4-1 Kongs versus the 3-5 Woodies, and the teams that are battling for playoffs. And of course, the other cousin rivalry game, and is there a bigger game in CFFL history? CFFL Legends League history. It's all very, very, very important here with these two teams. First of all, we have the history of the teams. The Cardinals have won 16 games in their matchups against 13 for the Maulers, with one tie in the regular season. Playoffs, it was 3-2. Cardinals holding the edge. Remember Clinton Portis' big game, Michael? One of the biggest games in fantasy history. He had 5 touchdowns, a couple hundred yards. It was awesome. You didn't think so? I thought it was awesome. And although I will have to give you this, my 3 playoff wins were probably not as good as your 2. You had the first one, you won, and that was the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 1. And also you won the first playoff meeting we had between us in a wild card game, I think. So that is the history of that, and it's a big week and rivalry week in the Legends League. So best of luck to everyone. It'll be an awesome week next week in the Fantasy Football Leagues here. And thanks for tuning in a little longer today. Not too much, though. So best of luck, and thank you.